call the meeting to order tonight, which is our regularly scheduled committee meeting night. And in addition to that, we have several items on a special meeting of the town council that we will deal with first. And Anne Marie, given the fact that there were about 110 pages worth of details to read about these resolutions and so forth relative to wellhead protection and our overall water treatment operations, I will turn those items over to you for an explanation, please, and whatever activity we need to take, if you'll just let me know, I'll see if we can get it moving.
Okay, thank you, Mayor. And it is very unusual to have so many action items on a special meeting, but as the Mayor and Council know, we have been working for the last month really very, very hard trying to get all of our documents in order to apply for CDBG grants and other grants with the state to help pay for planned improvements to the Beaver Hill water treatment plant and also the Freemason water treatment plant. And at our last meeting, the council heard a presentation from the engineers that are helping us. They heard a description of what the proposed improvements would be, and then they also heard a very detailed description of the requirements regarding CDBG. The application is due on Friday. We have still not hit our target for having more than 51% of our households either at medium household income or below household income. We were supposed to make a decision today, but given the fact that last week we lost almost 3 days of field work because of the storm, we decided to give it another push. So we'll be working tomorrow night and Wednesday night and hope that we can meet that level that we're striving for. But we will still need for the council to adopt 2 resolutions authorizing the CDBG grant applications. And as you heard the other night, the applications for the Beaver Hill water treatment plant, as well as the Freemason, they would the 2 applications together total almost $3.3 million. There's a maximum. The CDBG will only fund $2 million. So we're hoping that they'll fund our application that has $2 million, and then they'll sweep the other grant application into another pot of possible funding opportunities for us. So Mayor, those, I guess I'll stop here and ask if there are any questions about the resolutions, and you would need motions to adopt each resolution separately, the A and B, the resolution for the CDBG grant for Beaver Hill, and then the resolution for CDBG grant for Freemason.
Okay, thank you, ma'am. Going first to questions. Does anybody have any questions of Anne Marie or from the information that you heard and read about relative to these 2 resolutions?
I just think, great job.
Well, hopefully we'll get funded.
Okay, hearing no further comment or question, the chair would call for a motion to adopt the first resolution, which would be relative to Beaver Hill water treatment plant.
I shall move.
Second. Motion and a second. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, no. All right, moving to the second resolution. The same source being CDBG.
I so move.
Second.
Freemason. Thank you. Any further discussion on that? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. All right, good. We have those 2 for you.
All right, Mayor, the next item is a resolution approving the town's wellhead protection plan. And this plan was put together with assistance from the North Carolina Rural Water Association. And it really, it's a plan, but it really is an inventory of any potential any potential contaminant, any potential existence of a business in a certain area around our water treatment plants and around our wells that could be a problem. If there were some sort of a disaster, particularly concerned about gas stations. And if you read through it, I know it was a lot of documentation, they also inventoried any prior incidents that happened, even though they've been cleaned up and resolved. So so that the committee, which is mainly made up of staff, town staff, and then some assistance from county officials, so that if ever there was any type of an emergency or a disaster, we could quickly look at this plan and see if any potential contamination exists. And we're fortunate because we draw our water from the deep aquifer, so it would have to be a really catastrophic type of incident for it to affect our water system. And the reason we're doing this now is if it is approved and we have an approved plan in place, we get bonus points on the grant application. So we really pushed hard. Public Works has a good relationship with the Rural Water Authority, and they came in and did a lot of the inventorying for us. So I guess the big takeaway is it's an inventory of everything that we know that exists within a certain radius of the wells and of the plant that could potentially be an issue if something catastrophic happened.
That covers all 4 wells.
It does, yes.
So could that resolution be applied to the 2 we've already passed as far as scoring goes?
We hope it will, that this
Oh,
will be
really?
that's part of the application. We'll be able to say that we have this adopted wellhead protection plan. We'll be able to check it off on the application and hopefully get some more points.
We should have had that A instead of C.
Probably, but I think we'll be all right.
Do we need a motion on that?
Yes.
I so move.
Second.
Motion and a second to approve the resolution for the wellhead protection plan. Further questions or comments? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. All right, good.
I was hoping that somebody would explain the formula that's in there.
Yeah.
Go ahead. I'm sorry. That kind of stopped me right there.
I'm gonna try my best to talk the police chief into shooting you if you.
Yeah.
That's fair.
That's for a nightmare right there. Try to figure that thing out.
Good.
All right.
Mayor,
Capital improvement, please.
and that item also, this is also an opportunity for us to obtain bonus points for the CDBG applications. If there is a capital improvements plan that is approved by the council, then we can get extra points. And the capital improvements plan actually is quite an improvement over what we've had in the past. I thought it was very, it reaffirmed all of the information that we've been talking about in terms of converting the water treatment process to be able to take away or eliminate the precursors that are causing the trihalomethanes to form in the system. The capital improvements plan will again give us some bonus points, and I think it's a good refresher in terms of the work and all the planning effort that we have done over the last few years to get us ready to really know what path we want to move forward with in terms of updating the 2 plants. So again, the main thing is it's a complete plan. If you approve it, then we get to check a box on the grant and hopefully get some more points.
Okay. Questions or comments relative to the explanation of the capital improvement plan? If not, Chair would entertain a motion
I so move.
to approve.
Second.
Motion and a second to adopt the capital improvement plan as presented. One question on the quality of the distribution pipes and so forth, the sizes from 2 inches to 4 inches and corrosion and all that kind of stuff, does that, when we get, let's make the assumption that we get these grants in place to work on the treatment plants, then we go from there into distribution, or was this process kind of woven together where you would immediately go out and start trying to find money for the distribution?
I think they're not woven together. The plan would be, because the next item is another grant that we're applying for, that would do an inventory of all of the lines and the components that make up the distribution system. And that would really help us establish a much more realistic capital improvement plan. I think you saw something in there that over the next 20 years, we should have a plan of what lines need to be replaced. And so the capital improvement plan touches on that, but the next item, if we're able to obtain another grant, will really give us the finite information we need.
Okay. Any other questions? All in favor of the motion, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. All right, to that one.
Mayor, the council remembers back in April, we submitted an application to fund what's called an asset inventory and assessment grant. And this grant was created to give smaller municipalities like us funds to create an asset management plan, to update capital improvement plan, and to set up operations and maintenance plans. Our grant was not funded in the first round. I think there were 78 grants of this type submitted, and I think less than 15 got funded. But I am understanding that on this round that's due September 30th, they're putting in more money so that hopefully the smaller municipalities will receive the grants. In addition to inventorying all the assets, it will also help us with GIS mapping and a manageable database, and then helping us come up with, as we said earlier, a more specific year-by-year capital improvement plan. And this grant, what we're asking you to do is pass a resolution authorizing us to submit the same grant that we submitted earlier, but going back to the few items that you approved previously, the wellhead protection plan and the capital improvement plan, those will give us bonus points. So we think we're improving our position to get this grant funded also.
Okay, any questions of Anne Marie on that explanation? If not, Chair would entertain a motion to adopt the resolution.
So moved.
Second.
Motion and a second to do so. Any further discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, no. All right, moving right along. I can do this one. Approval of the minutes of the regular meeting for September 13th.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. All right.
And we needed those for the grant application too, so.
No, okay. All right, that was a big package, right?
It was.
1, 2, 3, 6 items.
And Mayor, we also have on the agenda the special meeting for you to approve the grant agreement for the downtown revitalization funds. And this project, you remember Representative Steinberg helped secure an appropriation of $95,000. We've set the council has designated $60,000 to go to the Hugh Williamson Monument, $15,000 designated for the Public Arts Initiative, and then the remaining part we have not confirmed yet. We are waiting for. We had hoped to have the quotes for you tonight, but with the storm, the contractors got pulled away. But we will have for you shortly quotes for the cost of sidewalks on both sides of Granville Street and Water Street. But the state is anxious for the grant agreements. I think they have some reporting requirements to make to the General Assembly that projects are under grant. But I just want you to be aware that you're not committing to the sidewalk with this grant agreement. I've talked to the state. They understand that that piece is still under consideration.
Okay, but it won't hold back the other two?
It won't hold back the other two.
Okay, good.
May I ask a quick question on that? We also, when we get the estimates on the sidewalks, look at the number of trees that have to come down each way. Because one seems to be much more there are more trees in the way on one side than on the other, which I think is also consideration.
Sure.
Okay, Chair would entertain the motion to approve the grant agreement funding the two items that were mentioned, but not yet funding or making a decision relative to the remaining $19,000.
I so move.
Okay,
Second.
motion and a second, thank you. Any further discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, no? All right, motion carried. Few will be recognized on the upper front. Yay! Finally.
And y'all can keep coming back. It's been fun to have you.
We'll find something else.
Find something else, but there we go.
Mayor, if I may,
Yes, sir.
I'd like to just show a picture of the gentleman that we're honoring. Bob Hopkins brought this in from historic sites,
All right.
inventory of artifacts and such. And I think it's really appropriate, and congratulations to the committee and what you've accomplished. It's a wonderful thing.
Show that to you. There you go.
Oh, yeah, it should, thank you.
Yeah.
You got it?
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Thank you, Bob.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Great job to everybody involved. Glad we had the place, and now we found the money, and here we go.
And we're mighty lucky to have Bob, too, helping us out.
All right, final item under the special meeting agenda is another resolution for the verification of the Edenton Fire Department. That kind of blew my mind.
Yes. Mayor, as the council knows, and you know, the fire department went through a very in-depth, extensive, rigorous state inspection from the State Fire Marshal's office 2 weeks ago, Chief?
Yes, ma'am.
And they went through all of the department's records, and I was so proud of the department and of Chief. Every record they asked for, we had, and when we say records, it was, who responded to every single fire call, when were the hose tested, when were ladders tested, all the training records. I mean, it was incredible. And the one thing that they found that we could not document was that the fire department is an agency of the town of Edenton. So the state prepared a resolution, and it basically is confirming that the fire department does serve as an agency of the town, and that this has been a long-standing agency, a long-standing relationship, and is generally acknowledged. So we would ask that the council approve this resolution.
So moved.
Second.
All right, we have a motion and a second to make the fire department part of Edenton.
Is this the first time we've ever had to do this?
I hope so. And the last. Yeah,
It'll probably last.
yeah.
State government at work.
Any further comments or questions? Or-
There, fire chief.
Yes,
I want to
sir.
make sure I didn't have to answer any questions.
All right.
They looked at our charter, and it's actually not in the charter. That's what we've showed them every time before, and they've no problem, but this particular inspector dotted every I and crossed every T and said, your charter doesn't specifically say
How about
fire as a service. So thank you for allowing us to continue to serve.
300 years of oversight?
Yesterday, we were getting on a plane, and the guy looked at Gray's license, and then she looked at the ticket and said, "How do you know you're Gray Dixon?" So it's the same kind of deal.
All right, all in favor of the motion, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, resolution. Thank you. Okay, moving on down our agenda, we're in committee meetings now, which is a regularly scheduled part of this evening, and due to absentees, our administrative committee will not be able to meet, only one member present. So we'll move to the finance committee, chaired by Councilman Dixon, please.
Wow, okay, we got one thing on us, approval of the League of Municipalities annual meeting for the members that are going. It's really important we go, we learn, we network, and it's great for the town of Edenton. You don't need to say the amounts, do you? I think that was in everybody's packets, but Anne Marie prepared the cost, and if you want to go through that, you're welcome to.
Sure, the conference this year is in Raleigh, and so we have mileage and registration, and it averages out $1,200 for a council person whose wife is accompanying them. For those of us going solo, it's about $1,000, and the mayor is a little bit less expensive because I think you're staying with family, so
That's
your
correct.
expenses are about $876. So. But this is really the only conference that the council attends every year, and as Councilman Dixon said, it's always informative. It's an opportunity to network, to meet other local officials, and I think it's well worth the investment.
The people that hand out the grants are usually there too.
Sometimes, yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, so unless anybody, okay, we'll send it on to full council. That's it.
Okay. I think that's it for this evening too, isn't that right?
It is.
It is certainly nice to have you back, Mayor.
Well, thank
We
you.
missed you.
Well, I have missed participating with you ladies and gentlemen and our staff and department heads and the people who come and attend the meetings. And it's been a long road for us, but we're well on the way to recovery now, and I want to, every time I get up here, I feel like I want to thank everyone from the bottom of my heart for the support that was given to us verbally, through the mail, through electronic communications, through visitations. It was just absolutely overwhelming, but so greatly appreciated, and so much a part of what I believe got us to where we are today. My mantra for the whole process is faith, family, and friends, and I have learned the value of each one of those three compartments at a greater depth than I ever imagined. But thanks again for all your support, and I hope the worst of it's in the rearview mirror. I believe that it is. So
We do too.
I have some evaluations to go through in the next couple of weeks, but my medical team, which was totally outstanding as well, I should mention them for sure. They're very confident that my cancers were not overly aggressive, so they were very treatable, and we're just hoping for good results. Feel that we'll get it. But thanks again. Glad to be back. And with that, we will adjourn. Thank y'all very much.